and welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Just as I'm about to go to the gym after sitting in front of my computer for 10 hours, the Tennessee Titans decide to make a move as they sign or agree to terms with cornerback Logan Ryan, formerly of the New England Patriots. 3 years, $30 million, finally calming me down. If you've been following me on Twitter, and you should, at the MJ Take, I had become a little restless with the Tennessee Titans throughout this free agency period, not really signing anybody. Yes, they did sign Johnathan Cyprien, and I will get into that in a moment, but no one to really inspire much confidence in me. And really, let me just talk about that first, why that really pisses me off, just in case you haven't been watching. I am of the belief, and I know this is so ridiculous to some of you out there, I am of the belief that with the right moves, the Tennessee Titans can be a Super Bowl contender this year. It's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. It sounded ridiculous for the 2016 Oakland Raiders, but then they got Kelechi Osemele, they got Sean Smith, they got Bruce Irvin, they got another guy, Reggie Nelson, and then boom, they were Super Bowl contenders. Okay, anyway, and same goes with the Giants. They signed Janoris Jenkins, they signed Damon Harrison, they signed Olivier Vernon. Boom, they were Super Bowl contenders. Now, yes, the Jaguars, they've signed a bunch of people and they haven't really improved. The Eagles in the past, yeah, it's about 50-50. I wanted to take that shot. And why? Because I even did some more research today. Do you have any idea how much cap room the Tennessee Titans are scheduled to have in 2019? $158 million. And when you think about it, why is that? Oh yeah, because we really don't have many big-time players on this roster that demand more than even $8 million per year outside of one man, Marcus Mariota. Now, eventually, Taylor Lewan will probably be over that $10 million mark, and perhaps Jack Conklin, but that's it. By the time 2019 rolls around, Brian Orakpo will be over 32 years old, probably 33 years old. You probably want to let him go at that point. Delaney Walker, same thing. Jarrell Casey will still be good, but not eliciting more than a $10 million contract. This is a time to spend money. I don't understand what people don't understand about this. We do not have integral players, cornerstone players in their 20s or that are going to be in their 20s in 2019. You need to start filling this roster with guys. $158 million. Even if Marcus Mariota signs for $30 million per year, and that is possible, you'll still have $128 million. Taylor Lewan, let's say he signs for $15 million per year, the highest paid left tackle in the league. You'll still have $113 million. Jack Conklin, $12 million. High, but let's just say $101 million. This is the time to spend money. We need to get some cornerstone players. And finally, here in Logan Ryan, we get one. This is not supposed to be a Tennessee Titans salary cap discussion, but that's what's been pissing me off. Like, who are our players that we are saving all this money for? We don't have them, really. We have four. We have Mariota, Lewan, Conklin, Casey. Everyone else is going to be too old to the point in 2019 where you want to pay them a lot of money. Don't tell me about Avery Williamson right now. I was not going to rant, but people have been pissing me off on Twitter today. Guys, we don't have people. Honestly, we really don't. Derrick Henry is one guy that I look at and say, okay, maybe him, but even he, let's say he becomes a starting running back running for 1,500 yards. Even he won't get paid more than $10 million per year. We need to start getting those contracts in here. What's the point of having millions, tens of millions of dollars of cap room? What? We're saving cap for players we're going to draft. I mean, even in our 2016 draft, okay? This draft that we've been looking at saying, oh, it's so good. There's only one guy that's going to be expensive, Jack Conklin, assuming Kevin Dodd and Austin Johnson don't wake up. Maybe they wake up. They're great players. Tajay Sharp's not going to be a very expensive guy. Who are we saving money for? Jamal Adams? Marshawn Lattimore? We need to start spending money. We had $60 million this year. We're scheduled now to probably have about $70 million next year. probably like now like 65 again, and then the year after that 100, and now probably 45 million if you factor in the Logan Ryan and the now Johnathan Cyprien deals. We need to start signing, guys. That's why I've been so upset. Okay, Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan, good cornerback. I think this guy's going to come in here and do well for this football team. Now, the discussion that we need to have, let me calm down. Man, I was not going to be so, but people have been pissing me off today. Oh, the Titans, it's okay. You don't need to overpay because we need to start re-signing. Who? 4 freaking players, dog. No one else. I don't give a hell about Daquan Jones. We need to start being the Kansas City Chiefs, where we have Eric Berry, where we have Marcus Peters, where you have Derek Johnson, Justin Houston, Tamba Ali, you have Jamal Charles. You have 7, 8, 9, 10 guys who are getting paid a hell of a lot. We're not going to be that unless we start getting guys in here or drafting guys, but we won't have to re-sign those guys that we draft for 4 years. Okay, so anyway. All right, so when we look at Logan Ryan as a cornerback, as a signing, to me, you have to like this signing. 3 years, $30 million. Finally, now we have another guy that we're paying over $10 million per year. In fact, do we even have anybody on our roster? We don't. Okay, again, something that pisses me off. So we have a guy that we're paying over $10 million, just $10 million per year, and good. Okay, he's a good corner. Is he a number 1 corner or a number 2 corner? Let me talk about something that I talked about a couple days ago as it pertains to Brandon Cooks. Yes, Logan Ryan is not your prototypical number 1 shutdown corner like a Patrick Peterson or Richard Sherman or number 1 prototype. He's good. And he's one of the top 32 men at his position. This is a good draft, not a good draft pick, sorry. This is a good signing here by the Tennessee Titans, and he could be our number 1, okay? Now, there will be times where he would struggle. He could give up a play to T.Y. Hilton. He could give up a play to, DeAndre Hopkins, although he does play Hopkins very well. He could do something like that. But I think overall you'd be happy and pretty much thrilled with Logan Ryan even being your number 1 cornerback. And I'm sorry if you can hear the rain or the thunder or outside. It is absolutely hell. So that's why if you hear nonsense, that's what that is. But I'm going to go ahead and pound through and try to finish this video despite God himself outside of my window. My rage must have enraged the Lord himself. And now I am in danger, I tell you of that. So anyway. That's it as it pertains to Logan Ryan. Good deal, great deal, corner in here. Now, if you still want that number 1 prototypical shutdown corner, you look at Marshawn Lattimore at the 5th overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. To me, there's a let's say 80% chance he will be available. I think there's a chance the Bears take him. I think there's no chance the Jaguars take him. I think there's a little chance the 49ers take him. So 80% chance he's there. If he's there, you can take him. Personally, I would take him. I don't think there's a better prospect for us right now other than Malik Hooker. And it's up to you. If you want to say, dude, Malik Hooker is freaking good, even though Kevin Byers showed us some nice stuff, I want to upgrade at free safety. Hey, I'm fine with that. Kevin Byard was good, but man, Malik Hooker is going to be great, especially as it pertains to creating turnovers, being a great center fielder, and one of the few teams this era, this decade, that has ever stopped the New England Patriots from time to time has been the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Because Ed Reed gave Tom Brady hell. And Malik Hooker is a guy that is getting a lot of Ed Reed comparisons, and deservedly so, being that type of center fielder. Now, Malik Hooker is not as good as a special teamsman or a tackler as Ed Reed, but as a center fielder, I think he's just as good, honestly. I mean, I honestly really do from what I've seen on film. So I think right now we're talking about Malik Hooker or Marshawn Lattimore and maybe Jonathan Allen. Jamal Adams, I think that conversation's over, and some people really disagreed with me on Twitter. Let's talk about Johnathan Cyprien signing, and then we'll go to this Jamal Adams thing. So Johnathan Cyprien, strong safety formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has signed with the Tennessee Titans. Reported deal of 4 year, $25 million, which is about $6.25 million per year. And I believe, first of all, it's a good sign. Okay, Cyprien is a guy who played really well in 2016, over 100 tackles almost every year. In fact, I think every year during his time with the Jacksonville Jaguars. A terrific run defender. Unlike Avery Williamson, a guy who was able to stop running backs behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, so that's nice to have. But what? When you look at him, okay, Jamal Adams, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it makes no sense to dedicate $6.25 million per year to now Johnathan Cyprien, dedicate still, okay, $5 million per year to Denora Cersei. He's still under contract, guys. That's $11 million to strong safety. And then to select Jamal Adams at the 5th pick, okay, that's going to be a contract of about $4 million. $5 million per year even, okay? You're going to be dedicating $16 million to your strong safety position? That doesn't make sense to me. I think Jamal Adams is now out of the running. Jamal Adams being a strong safety, Johnathan Cyprien being a strong safety, yes, you could put Cyprien more as a dime linebacker, but if you get Jamal Adams, there's no way he and Cyprien and Kevin Byard will all be out there for 50% of the snaps. I mean, it's just not going to work. It doesn't make sense to me. You got to look at Hooker before you look at Jamal Adams to me, because you've dedicated money to Johnathan Cyprien. Byard is a guy who's selling a cheap deal, okay? At least if you bench him, it sucks, but it's not like you have a guy on the bench who's making a lot of money. Okay, so to me, that's the distribution there. That's the decision that is now made, that the Titans will not be taking Jamal Adams to me. Perhaps I'll be wrong. Yes, I saw someone tweet that, hey, John Robinson drafted Derrick Henry. And that makes sense, but man, that was in the 2nd round. It was with their last pick in the 2nd round, their 3rd pick in the 2nd round. I don't think you do that with the 5th overall pick. Take a safety who may not play 50% of the snaps. Well, he would have to, actually. You would have to put him in, and he'd be better than Johnathan Cyprien. So now you sign Cyprien for nothing. I mean, to be a backup line safety, come in as a dime linebacker for $6.25 million. Again, I'm happy that we're paying, but that doesn't make sense. So I don't understand that. I want to overpay for starters, not for backups. You know, that doesn't make much sense to me. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. Jamal Adams, it's still possible, sure. Anything's possible. You can prove it through quantum physics. But I put the odds at like maybe 5%, if that, where yesterday I would have told you like 25 to even 35% chance we're taking Jamal Adams. I thought it was looking actually the most likely option. Maybe not being likely in and of itself, but the likeliest. Okay, so that's what I thought yesterday. The Titans also did some other stuff that was pissing me off because it happened in the middle of the day when everyone else was signing big guys. Okay, so they re-signed Nate Palmer. They re-signed Carl Klug, and I like Carl Klug. I don't give a damn about no Nate Palmer. They also signed these special team guys in Darren Bates and this guy's name Brendan Trowick, or however you pronounce these guys' names. Apparently these two special teams aces from the Oakland Raiders. And look, special teams this year was a disaster for the Titans. It was pissing me off because it happened in the middle of the day of day one. We're prioritizing, it seems we're prioritizing special teams players. Did not make sense to me. It was really pissing me off at the time. And then just re-signing Carl Klug and Nate Palmer. I like Carl Klug. Nate Palmer, I don't give a damn about. So that was pissing me off. Now in retrospect, I can say, yeah, those are good deals. We need to improve our special teams, lining up a ridiculous punt return to Will Fuller, lining up a ridiculous punt return to someone else around that time. I can't remember who it was. Someone from Miami, I think. Just too much. And this will allow us to improve on special teams. So the Tennessee Titans signed Logan Ryan, 3 years, $30 million. Signed Johnathan Cyprien, strong safety, for, 4 years, $25 million. What are your thoughts on these signings? Comment down below. I want to know. And let me just say this. What will we do from here? Dont'a Hightower, man, I want him. And I was looking at the 2018 inside linebackers, free agents. They stink. I mean, bad. There is no inside linebacker next year that I'm looking at and I'm saying, oh, I want this guy. If I look at the 2017 draft inside linebackers, I don't want them. Reuben Foster, to me, I don't think he's worth it at number 5. And then outside of them, you have like Raekwon McMillan and some other guys that don't inspire much confidence from me, especially in the 3rd round. This is our chance to get an inside linebacker. This is a chance here to get a guy in Dont'a Hightower who you can pair with Avery Williamson and hopefully turn him to something more than he is, and to find a guy in the middle there that can make some freaking plays. Yes, Hightower is asking for $10 million per year as an inside linebacker. But again, as I've said time and time again, Who the hell are we paying in 2019, 2020? Nobody, okay? Next year, okay, the free agent class for wide receivers looks pretty great, although re-signings could happen. Same goes with cornerbacks, you know, re-signings could happen. So perhaps you're finally going to look to sign a lot of players there. But this is a chance. This is an opportunity to get a guy in Dont'a Hightower, 2-time Super Bowl winner, to go along with Logan Ryan, 2-time Super Bowl winner, bringing Super Bowls to Nashville, Super Bowl experience, Super Bowl acumen, just experience and whatnot. Okay, this is an opportunity to me that you have to take advantage of. I want Dont'a Hightower in two-tone blue, period. Okay, I'm sure, right now I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully it does. This will be a huge signing. And if we don't get him, I want Terrell Pryor, because now our situation, when you look at potential wide receivers, they're all gone except for Terrell Pryor. Everyone else stinks. And then in the draft, I know everyone's a big fan of Corey Davis. I don't think he's even close to being worth, well, he's somewhat close, but I don't think he's worth the 5th overall pick. I would rather take O.J. Howard, who will be a transcendent talent at tight end, than Corey Davis, who will be a pretty good talent at wide receiver. To me, don't be surprised if he falls all the way down to 18. I think that's possible. I think, at number 5, you sit there, you take Marshawn Lattimore, you trade back a bit, you take O.J. Howard to like 11 range, something like that. You take O.J. Howard, or number 5, you can also sit there and take Malik Hooker or Jonathan Allen. And then number 18, I think one of Mike Williams, John Ross, or Corey Davis will fall, especially now that the Eagles have signed their wide receiver in Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. They're no longer looking at wide receivers. Ravens have brought back Mike Wallace. They're no longer probably looking at wide receivers. I think a wide receiver is going to fall to 18, and I don't care who it is, even Mike Williams, who I don't love. If they're at 18, take them. Okay, to me, that's the move for this football team. That's what they need to do. That should be the plan. But to me, Dont'a Hightower should be the number 1 priority. If you get Dont'a Hightower in here, you sit at number 5, you take Marshawn Lattimore or Jonathan Allen or Malik Hooker, or you trade back and take O.J. Howard. Okay, you sit at 18, you take Ross, you take Williams, you take Davis. Guess who's winning the AFC South in 2017 at 11-5 or better? The Tennessee Titans. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the NJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.